Ladies and gentlemen, how are we doing today? Season 2, episode 14 of Campus Gridiron. You know, we've been filming on Fridays, we've been filming on Wednesdays, now we're filming on a Thursday, but we have somehow kept our promise, or at least me and Lennon have kept our promise, by filming a weekly show. So, Lennon, at least one thing's going right.
Yeah, well, it's Drew's birthday today, so he gets a
Drew's
pass if he
birthday
doesn't.
today. Doubt if he'll be here. Happy birthday, Mr. Drew Humphrey.
Happy birthday.
17, correct? If I'm not mistaken, or 18.
You don't even know his age.
He's like, bro, I should know that.
I was relying on you. I'm thinking he's turning 17.
He's 7.
I think.
Yeah, great. No, because
Drew, please roast us if you are in the chat. Happy birthday to Drew.
My cousin's, he's 17. Because my cousin
gotta be right. I knew it. I knew it.
I think he's 17. Because my cousin was born in 08 also, and he's 16. He'll turn 17 next month. So, right, damn, I'm old, man.
Tell us about it. 08? Oh my god, that was like from my first memory.
Me
was
too.
Probably back from 2008. Yeah. Love being 04 kids. And we also loved being Florida Gator fans because they did the exact opposite of what I was thinking they were going to do. And they had a defensive clinic against LSU, recording a season-high 7 sacks. Florida, with a game against Florida State still on the schedule, a bowl game is now possible, Lennon. And this is more proof, and we've been saying it every week, the SEC continues to beat up on each other.
Yeah. Oh, gee, you do not know how good that felt. You guys have no idea how good it felt to be in the swamp last Saturday night against God, dude. 5 years of hell losing to these in Louisiana, man. I wanted to rush the field. Steve Spurrier told the fans that if we beat LSU, he wanted everyone to rush the field, just leave the goalpost down, and he'd pay the fine. But they had security lined up with their clubs ready to beat people, so no field rush. But it was just awesome energy, adrenaline, and now we got number 9 Ole Miss coming to the swamp. If we beat the Rebels, then you got a chance to go 7-5, and 7-5 with this schedule is huge. So it's going to be interesting this week, but we have a lot of momentum going into this weekend for sure.
And Florida continues to land in the recruiting portal. They picked up a kicker, they picked up a D lineman, and the 4-star rated quarterback that originally committed to Florida State decommitted and is now committing to Florida. So, as we've been stating previously, these huge wins are massive in the transfer portal and when it comes to committing as well.
Oh yeah, well, and it shows that Napier still has the locker room, which is good. Like the players, every single player that I've talk to or have people, they all say the same thing, and it's that they love and respect the coach, and having that is huge. And then you got, because obviously the kids talk to the other recruits who are at the game, so it's if he can hit the transfer portal and get a few veteran guys, we're gonna be okay next year. We're gonna be fine. I like where we're going, and if we can beat if we beat the Rebels, I might have a heart attack. But we can beat Ole Miss, beat Florida State. That's 7-5 with the toughest schedule in the freaking world. So I'll be happy with 6-6 even. Like
Lagway also returned from injury, by the way. DJ Lagway's first game in almost 2 weeks. Threw for 226 and a touchdown. And did his typical stuff on the ground. Very strong runner. Mike, what do you think this win not only means for the Gators the rest of the year, but how much faith do the Gators athletic facility have in Lagway and Billy Napier moving forward?
I mean, it definitely does going to help them a lot beating a team like LSU. I mean, that's a big deal. I think they do trust Lagway now. I thought they were gonna, I don't want to say like maybe hit the transfer portal and get another quarterback instead of Lagway, but now I think they're just gonna keep Lagway and see how he does next year, and depending on that, just go from there.
Yeah, we needed a backup quarterback for Lockley, and I'm glad we flipped that 4-star from Florida State.
Sorry, Aiden. Bye.
Go back to Yale. No, I'm just kidding. Man, I mean, yeah, no, but we're gonna. Florida will be okay next year. We're gonna be fine. We just got to fill the pieces. The culture's there. Like I said, if we can win Saturday. Y'all don't want to see, bro. If we win, you ain't gonna want to see me next week.
They're gonna be insufferable.
Oh yeah,
I love insufferable Lennon. And it would be nice because I only see insufferable Lennon when the Yankees win. So it would be refreshing to see it for the Gators for a change.
Y'all better not let Ole Miss beat us, bro. I'm telling you.
Don't let us get hot. We won 1, we'll win 2. Moving on to. I wouldn't really call this an upset. We kind of knew this was going to be a coin flip. London and Drew picked Tennessee, me and Mike picking Georgia. And Georgia did win 31-17. And this was funny because even though I picked Georgia, my one guarantee was Carson Beck would throw an interception. He didn't. And that's very impressive for Georgia. They desperately needed this. They knew if they got a third loss, no shot they were making the college football playoff. Now Tennessee is in jeopardy, and they have played in a lot of tight games. Most of them they've won, but in this case, their run defense couldn't make a stop when it mattered.
Well, two things happened last week I learned that you should never trust Rocky Flop ever, and Carson Beck must have heard me and Drew talking crap about him because he went out and played his best game of his career, if I'm being honest, or at least of the season. He looked absolutely incredible, and I can't believe I'm saying that, but he looked really good, and Georgia looked really good. I was hoping for Georgia to lose to knock them out. Now we got to rely on UMass, which isn't going to happen. But Georgia Tech might get them next week. So rivalry weekend next week, we'll see. But don't let the dogs get hot either, man. I mean, if Carson Beck continues to play like that, Georgia's dangerous, very, very, very dangerous. But yeah, I was wrong. Bad, really, 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 really bad.
I think this is the national championship caliber team if they play like this.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Definitely. In Tennessee.
It's surprising they haven't played like this more consistently.
Mm-hmm. Well, they finally had a tough schedule for the first time in 5 years.
I think Beck just was trying to develop way too fast. Then he finally, in this game, kind of slowed it down a little bit. And then he realized, oh, shit, we actually do good.
Yeah, well, he threw 6 interceptions in his last 9 games or something.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Because he threw 3 against Texas and they still won, and he threw 3 against Florida and they still won.
Yeah.
And then he finally got it done against the Vols. But good old Tennessee, same old, same old.
What did I say? Rocky Flop always prevails. You're just learning this. Lennon, you taught me this crap. Anyways, on to what was, sorry, Gators, this has to be the upset of the week. Come on. I mean, how could it not be? BYU at home against a 3-6 team and they lose? This ain't a good look for the Cougars, man. This really isn't. Devin Neal rushed for 2 touchdowns. He was the player of the night, and offense was just out of sync all night long. And I was able to watch the fourth quarter at this game. Still, offense way out of sync.
The undefeated to continue to fall.
Yep, but
so does this make only Army and Oregon the only 2 teams left?
Indiana, Army.
And Indiana, and we'll get to them.
Which I really think Oregon's going to be the only undefeated team after this week.
Well, we don't know. We will be talking about.
But
Oregon.
Oregon's on a bye week.
They are on their bye week. I thought so, but we will be talking about Indiana and Army. So stay tuned for that for our predictions later on.
I do think that undefeated continue to fall though. Miami last week, BYU this week.
Maybe Army this week.
Yeah,
we
Army.
might lose all of them except
Indiana
for
this
Oregon.
week too.
Yeah.
Literally, like it's just they all continue to fall. Pitt was what, like two weeks ago against SMU.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It sucked. I was rooting for my Mormon friends in BYU, but yeah. I don't know. I was kind of riding high on BYU. Now I don't know where they stand. So, and they got a tough game this week too. So
Another game we will be previewing, by the way.
just predicting the future. Yeah. I don't know, dude. I kind of laughed this game off, but do they wear black, white, and black Kansas City? That's awesome. I just
Well, I
realized
get distracted by the jerseys. Oh no.
Oh, yeah, but yeah, BYU just did. I mean, I watched the highlights of every game, even if I don't watch them, and they just looked out of sync from the start. But hopefully they can turn it around and against Arizona State this week. But we'll see.
And of course, before we move on to our Week 13 previews, we have our favorite topic of the week. Is it? I have no idea. But Jersey of the Week. And surprisingly, for filming on a Thursday, there's actually some jerseys we were able to choose from this week. LSU, the first time in a long time, wearing these all yellow jerseys with purple numberings. Lennon, thank you for pointing this one out. LSU now second jersey of the week, and this one much more deserving than the first go around.
Oh yeah, but I still don't know what helmet and pants they're doing. My hope is all gold. But
they would be stupid to not wear the yellow home helmets. But
yeah, but like if they maybe throw in the purple pants with it, that might be cool. Or even the white helmet, I think would look good with it too. But yeah, LSU's
white, yellow, purple combo.
Why
not?
not?
With the yellow jersey and the purple pants. I mean, LSU has a sick color scheme to begin with.
Yeah. LSU's jerseys, even their jerseys by themselves, are freaking fire. And I've been asking them. Or not really, but I've been saying I would love to see them have an all gold or a gold jersey, and they finally listened to me, or listened to listen to everyone who's wanted these. Unfortunately,
figure yourself out. Why don't you?
Fortunately, this was their only W of last weekend, probably this week. But
they announced this jersey this at Lennon.
at Deadhead 04.
Yeah, that's great. But yeah, fire. They did something like this when Leonard Fournette was still in college, but it was like a Georgia Tech Jaguar 2017 baby like weird gold thing. Wasn't good. Didn't look that good. But this one looks 1,000 times better than the last.
No, it did look good. 2017 Leonard Fournette. He looked damn good, in fact.
Yes, he did.
And then he was cut in 3 years. Anyways, on to prediction time. Gators don't have to travel. They will be in the swamp once again against Ole Miss, who now comes in the top 10. If I'm not mistaken, they are ranked 8th.
9.
Massive boost up for Ole Miss. They beat Ohio State, they beat Georgia a couple weeks ago, and they have been completely running away with it. They come into this week ranked 9th, I believe, highest rated 2-loss team. Yes, that is correct.
No, Bama.
Oh, no, Bama. Second.
Oh, boys, I'm excited. I want to pick last, but I will comment on this really quick. Ole Miss's defense is very good, like really good, and probably the best defense Florida will face all season. Maybe behind Georgia, I guess. Probably, I would say. But Lagway is still not 100%. He didn't run that much against LSU. He still could do the air, but we don't have that dual threat of ability. Now, Florida's O-line against LSU, perfect. Didn't put Lagway in the position to get him to make him, run or get hurt. If Florida's O-line can give Lagway time, I think Florida has a good shot at winning this football game. That's my key for this game. Ole Miss's key for this game, attack, and get Lagway out of the pocket and force him to use that hurt hamstring. You guys can take that, but those are my keys for this game.
My keys to this game too is for the Gators defense to step it up quite a bit, and they have done so, especially in the last couple of weeks, holding Georgia at bay until the fourth quarter. They completely engulfed any chance of an LSU rushing attack last week. Got 7 sacks, as I mentioned, got 95 total tackles. The Gators were everywhere on defense last week. And now you are playing Jackson motherfucking Dart. This man is damn good at football and much better than the LSU quarterback. This is a man who I have getting drafted as high as mid-first round this year.
It's a deadly quarterback.
What?
It's a deadly
quarterback. Deadly quarterback indeed. Dart has arguably the best arm strength in the entire draft class heading into this year. His arm strength is insane, and he has only gotten better as the season's gone along. And realistically, I just think the Rebels needed that confidence boosting win. They lost to Kentucky. They were kind of coasting along a relatively easy schedule. Beat Georgia, and now everything's flipped on a dime. Now this team has confidence, and I think they're going to carry that confidence into Gainesville. It's going to be very close, and I definitely don't expect this to be a blowout whatsoever. I'm going to go Rebels win by 3, 27-24. This is definitely one of those games where the Gators offense plays well, scores a couple touchdowns, gets a couple stops, but realistically speaking, they are still the worst team, and that's the only thing they're going to do wrong, is that they are just heading into this game as the worst team.
Yeah. Ole Miss, I think, is going to win this. Just because, like the thing I think Georgia did is what their plan was, and it worked to wear out Florida. They wore out Florida until the fourth quarter, and they're like, okay, we have a lot more energy than Florida. Let's go out there and put on a show. That's what they did. Ole Miss is not that type of team. Ole Miss is that type of team that to go out there and give it 100% until that final whistle, because they have a lot more stamina than most teams, it looks like. And also, if you watch Ole Miss, if you let Jackson Dart get going, he is going. There's a reason his last name is Dart. When he gets going, he is throwing darts all the time. And that defense for Ole Miss is very good. They're going to, like London said, if they force Lagway out the pocket a lot, they're not going to get any offense going, because that defense is good enough to get a rush going, and then their cornerbacks can just lock down every receiver.
Yeah, both of these teams coming off really, really, really big wins. Ole Miss had a bye week in between beating Georgia and then Florida this week. Does that hurt them in any way, do you think, or no?
I don't think so at all. I think now Ole Miss is all rested and ready to go.
Uh-huh.
And again, it's a travel week for them, so they preparated this ahead of time.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm going to be in attendance. Every single time I hype Florida up, they F around and they lose.
Yeah, that's right. So we're gonna keep the Gator hype at bay like we always do.
Nope, not this time, boys.
What?
That LSU game, Florida needed that win. This is going to be a war. Ole Miss is really, really, really good. I'm not denying that. But you get – or I kind of wish this was a night game. Noon, 12 o'clock.
Not?
High noon. In the swamp, 90,000 people. It's sold out again. The best fans in the world. DJ Lagway throws for 300 yards. And the Gators win this game. I'm hyping this up, boys. We're probably going to get blown out now, but I don't care. Let's go, boys. Play it.
Well, the Gators ended their 4 or 5 year losing streak against LSU, and the last time the Gators beat the Rebels in Gainesville was when freaking Will Greer was the quarterback. So
Ole Miss was the number 4th ranked team in the country, and the Gators ruined their playoff chances. At 2024, the Ole Miss is number 8, 9. Florida's going to ruin their playoff chances once again.
I don't think so. I think they're remembering that, and they're like, "You want to try it again?" And they're going to say no.
Florida's going to win this game, guys. I've net, of course. You know what? I don't care anymore. 7-5. I see the vision. See the vision.
I see the vision of the 6-6 bowl game. But,
I see the 7-5 delusion.
That's okay. We are going to beat Ole Miss, and we're probably going to lose to Florida State, but we're going to at least beat the Rebels.
Out of all the teams that you think you're going to beat Ole Miss and lose to Florida State?
Yes, because that's how we are. Trust me, I know. Auburn got blown out by New Mexico and came around and almost beat Bama last year. It's those rivalry games. Records don't mean anything.
But Florida State's like in a body bag.
You really sent us a picture of saying scoring more than 21 points. They've been everyone but them.
Yeah, I know. And they
got how has UMass scored 21 points in a game and Florida State hasn't? That's my question.
Florida State plays Charleston Southern, and if they lose or do not score more than 21 points, I am going to absolutely die of laughter. So
if you let Florida State 21 points, you should just disband your whole football team.
Yeah, well, this is their best shot to do it. Charleston Southern's not a good football team. They're like 1-10 too.
Tank Bowl for the recruiting game. All right. This is game of the week.
Yes.
I would be very shocked if someone had anything else to say about that. Yeah, this is going to be an absolute war. Let's just say that the last time both of these two teams have played a meaningful game was so long ago. It is in the Horseshoe. I originally thought this game was Indiana. It is in Ohio State. And I don't know if that's going to be a deciding factor for prediction-wise, but let's preview this one quite a bit here. So Indiana currently comes in as 78% underdogs. That is crazy. They're very high on Ohio State winning this game, and that's kind of shocking to me. I was thinking it would be a little bit closer for, the 5 team versus the 2 team, but I guess not. It seems like the betting odds are also in favor of Ohio State. So my question is, if Ohio State does win this game, does that loss to Oregon not sting anymore? Because they essentially would clinch a spot in the top 5 with the win here. Indiana, same boat. They could probably even jump as high as to 3.
I think they'd jump as high as 2.
As 2. They could pass Texas as well. They definitely, I think, would pass Penn State with this win. Before...
Because they even have a tiebreaker because Penn State lost a lot.
Right. So, who wants to pick first? 5 Indiana, 2 Ohio State.
I guess I'll go first. I mean, as I wasn't here at the beginning, and I probably wouldn't have picked them in the first place. But as of right now, I do have Ohio State as my team winning the whole thing.
I picked them too.
I do think Ohio State's going to win this. I do think the undefeated continue to fall. To me, Ohio State's offense with Will Howard, Jeremiah Smith, and the other wide receiver, and Buka, whatever the hell his name is.
Oh, yeah, I can't pronounce it.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
Oh, Emeka Ibuka.
Yeah, that guy.
Great receiver.
They've been, him and Jeremiah Smith and Will Howard continue to connect the entire time, and they've been shredding defensive secondaries, which Indiana does have a good secondary, but I think Will Howard can find the weaknesses in them and take it up. And then Ohio's defense, to me, is like the best in the country. I don't think you're going to be able to put up as 35. I think that's the max you can put up on them, Indiana. And I think this game will go 24-37, maybe. Something like that.
So you're pretty convinced that Indiana may not be the real deal. I mean, especially if you have them losing by 2 possessions. That's not good.
They're good, but Ohio State's just, to me, that much better.
This is such a classic Big Ten game where you have two teams who haven't really played anybody all year, and they're finally playing each other. Indiana's best win is probably Nebraska, where they put up 56. Ohio State has played one tough team, and they lost by what 2?
Whoa. They beat Penn State too. Let's not completely discredit Ohio State here. I know the gap between Oregon and Penn State's like enormous, but
Oregon has already clinched a spot in the Big Ten championship game. The winner of this game will play them. I'm 99.9% sure. Either way, because Indiana's undefeated and Ohio State has the tiebreaker over Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
So, you guys have no idea how bad I want to pick Indiana, but I cannot pick against Ohio State's offense, especially in Columbus, Ohio. I can't do it. I think this game will be close. I think Indiana's a good team. I've been rooting for them, but my national championship game at the beginning of the year was Ohio State versus Oregon. They already played once. They're going to play in the Big Ten championship. And hopefully the cards fall right. We get 3 matchups of that game. But I'm going to take
the best 2 out of 3.
Best 2 out of 3. I want to pick Indiana, but I can't. I'm going with the Buckeyes. Closer than – I think this is like a 1-possession game, I think. But Ohio State will win this game. Sorry, Indiana. It's tough, but yeah.
Trend or
damn it! I was hoping someone would pick Indiana.
Do it, please.
So let's think about this logically.
It's not a bad pick.
It would be a bad pick, but I can't like bet against the second best defense in the country like willingly. I would have to like really seduce myself to like picking something I'm just not going to end up picking. My reasoning to pick Indiana wouldn't make any sense at all. So I'm just going to go with Ohio State. They're at home. They have a top 3 defense. Their offense also might as well be top 5. Their run game has been extremely good. Will Howard hasn't been turning over the ball a lot the last few weeks. It's like, when is it gonna change? When is Ohio State finally not gonna like dominate this conference? It's
I mean, they lost to Oregon's dominating.
No, and Oregon's number 1, but I mean, when are they just gonna go away? When are they just gonna stop being great?
They're not.
They're never going to.
I know.
They're known for fucking football. Besides Bama, the only team that's like always gonna be consistent.
Yeah, but they only have 1 national championship in the last or wait, is it two in the last 10? I think, I don't know.
Something like that.
They won
Something like that.
2014.
Yeah, 2014 with Zeke and Cardell Jones.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Dude, that team was so good, man. And then they got 2018.
What was it? 18?
No,
19?
18 was Clemson. No, 19 was LSU. 2020 was Bama.
16 was Clemson, right? Or was that 17?
I think 14 was the latest. I don't think they've done anything since then.
They've had their opportunities. They've just failed.
Yeah.
So they're the Bruins.
2014 was the 2002 and 2014 are the last.
Yep.
That's shocking.
Well,
Will they buck the trend this year? I have no idea, but I had them beating Indiana, and I'm just sick and tired of seeing Ohio State just at the top. It's never going to change for probably another 20 years, but I just can't stand them. Can't stand them.
Fun fact, Ohio State's never beaten Florida. 3-0 all time. Twice in the Natty. Or no, once. Once in the national championship where he won 52-14. And then
that was the 06 one, right? And then Oklahoma was the 08.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, at least I'm not a Gator history casual. That's good. Yeah, no, give me Buckeyes in this one. Close game, very close game. 34-30. But yeah, Indiana's offense just won't keep up, and that's the unfortunate thing. One possession game, though.
Yeah, I'm with Grant. One possession game, but I can't pick against the. I want to, but I can't. Ohio State's going to win this one.
All right. Well, that was kind of the game of the day, but of course we kind of do the predictions by time, so we'll try to hype up the rest of these matchups.
Well, this is a good one
because you have one-loss BYU against two-loss Arizona State. Now, last week was Arizona State's, I guess, like breakout week. Okay, they were 7-2. Why should we care? Well, let's go on the road and pull off an upset against Kansas State. Now you give us a reason to care. And now you're at home against BYU, who, as we mentioned at the top, coming off an embarrassing loss to Kansas at home.
21.
Drew said it last week, and I'm saying it this week. Forks up.
This is major implications for the Big 12 championship. You have BYU, who's 6-1 in conference play. Colorado is 6-1 in conference play. Arizona State sits at 5-2, so they are still in it. If they lose, they're out. I think I underestimated Arizona State last week. Oh, sorry. I guess I overhyped Kansas State. I guess is more like it because I don't know what happened to them, but you know what? I gotta try and make. Okay. This game is. I went back and forth on this one, but I settled on BYU. I think the Cougars bounce back. I think they know they have to bounce back if they want any chance to still be in the college football playoff. Arizona State, at this point, you're playing for a conference championship, and maybe they put you in. But BYU has BYU has more to play for. This is why I'm taking the Cougars. I think they bounce back. Close. Arizona State's going to keep it close, but I think the Cougars get their bounce back win.
I think with your BYU's case, I think a loss kind of depletes you a little bit. I don't think obviously it's a motivational factor, but for a team like BYU, I feel like once you lose one game, you lose a bunch.
I mean, Arizona State comes in as 21. They just got ranked in 21. And BYU dropped down to 14. They dropped 8 spots. I mean, I don't really know how to go for here. Arizona State's coming off a big win against Kansas State, and BYU's coming off a loss against Kansas. I mean, BYU's coming in, I think, pissed off and mad, and I think Arizona State knows that. I think if Arizona State can take advantage of them being mad, because when you play mad, you play aggressive. And if Arizona State can exploit their aggressive mistakes, I think Arizona State wins. But if BYU comes in semi-mad, what I mean by that is if they play mad but also with precision, I think BYU is going to kill them. But I do have Arizona State winning this just because I think they can take advantage of BYU's mistakes.
Well, Lemon, this one will put you within 5 if you get it right. So.
Yep. Or if I lose both of them, I'm down by 7. Woo! Probably. He knows, man. No, I think Arizona State. I like Mike's reason was really good, and but I think BYU has more to play for. They're still 14th isn't that bad. You only need to get 2 more spots to 12. And if BYU loses again, then they're definitely out of the competition because there's 1,000 other better SEC teams above them. But then now we're looking at Colorado, which is interesting because the Buffaloes look really, really, really good. So we'll see how that plays out in the Big 12. But I think the Cougars bounce back and get one in Arizona.
Very tough. Arizona State, I've tried to, when I've casually watched college football, 11 o'clock at night on a Friday or a Saturday night,
You guys,
Stadium's typically empty. Not gonna lie.
Not
Yeah.
Sun Devils, y'all gotta really step it up. And here's your opportunity to show your fandom because God, the stadium's always empty whenever I turn you guys on. But now you're ranked 14-21. Now this game actually means something. Who would have thought that BYU and Arizona State would have actually meant something in week 13? Not me. Maybe BYU's ranked like somewhere in the top like 20, but I mean Arizona State's been a huge surprise.
If Arizona State does win against BYU, they're in the Big 12 against Colorado.
yeah.
Colorado's gonna have a fucking freebie. I hate this. Colorado's early gonna have a free whatever. That's a different story for a different day. Let the games play out, Grant. Let the games play out. Next, undefeated Army against
Beautiful.
Notre Dame in Yankee Stadium, neutral setting here. Just want to point that out, neutral setting. Now, if there is a team that could stop Army's rushing attack, it's definitely Notre Dame's. Their D-line is literally insane. They haven't lost a game since week 2, and they have looked like a top 10 team in the country the past 2 months. But Bryson Daly, man, you got to give him credit where credit's due. He's been a really good quarterback for Army this year. Obviously, he's averaging about anywhere between 20 to 30 carries a game. He's very efficient behind a very good offensive line. I don't know. I think a lot of people are sleeping on Army heading into this game. I really do.
I mean, I think the undefeated continue to fall. Army's rushing game is insane, but when you have a team like Notre Dame who has not lost since week 2, and since week 2 they've been almost destroying every single team they've gone up against, and that is halfly because of their rush defense. All they got to do is stop Army's rush defense. Army can't not throw the ball, and they're known for that. They're known for rushing. As long as Notre Dame stops that rushing attack, they win. They don't even need to put up that many points on offense if they can stop the rushing attack.
You know, man, my family is mostly served in the Army, so I obviously root for Army whenever I can, especially over Navy. But yeah, Army, listen, boys, I love you guys. I do. Even if this game was being played at West Point, I'm still probably picking Notre Dame. I mean, if Notre Dame beat the crap out of Navy,
51.
Army and Navy run similar offensive schemes. I can only admit now. Playing at a baseball stadium is different. I don't know. I doubt it's probably all the same. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Notre Dame wins this one again. Sorry, Army.
Maybe slightly colder weather. I don't know what you're going with there.
Not really. I mean, I don't know where Notre Dame plays, but Army plays
South Bend, Indiana.
And Notre Dame plays in Indiana.
I know that, but I'm saying like Army. I know where Army plays, but they play on top of a mountain. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, in Notre Dame play. In like a little town in Indiana. But the Irish is rush defense. If Army can throw the ball good,
You can't.
Like
I know.
I've been
I know.
doing
you notice when I brought up
Defense is
Bryson
all
Daly,
excuses.
I mentioned his rushing.
Yeah, hey, but maybe Army will surprise. I'm trying to give Army fans something, but yeah, you guys, Notre Dame's gonna win.
Usually, when it's at a neutral site like this, the better team wins. And Notre Dame, I think, is the better team. At least since that week 2 loss, they have not put up less than 28 points every single time they played.
That's
It was the lowest they played, and they haven't let up more than
I think
24.
24. Wow.
24 is the most they've given up, and 28 is the least they've put on since that week 2.
We haven't really talked about them that much since they lost to NIU. So
Yeah.
Notre Dame's another sneaky team that might get into playoffs. Ooh, I love this 12 team. I don't know about you guys, but I'm loving all the craziness.
I am too. It makes it so much more fun. I'm kind of glad this is the first year I've like fully gotten invested into
Yeah,
watching.
and now instead of two
I always hated the 14 playoffs because that's why I
Yeah.
think I hate teams like Alabama and Ohio State so much. Because like, I always saw them in the Final Four. It's so annoying. Now it's like, oh, wait a minute. Now if we get a couple of upsets, we could go somewhere.
It's always been
I'm more excited about playoff games at college campuses. Like we could get like Alabama versus Penn State in Happy Valley at night. Like, come on, that's like amazing. Like,
It is.
Yeah.
like I'm excited for that. I don't know. Hopefully, DJ Lagway can lead Florida to a playoff game. But well, next year it's okay. But yeah, Notre Dame's gonna win this one. Army, I love you guys. I'm rooting for you, but I just can't pick the Black Knight.
So we're all going Notre Dame here.
Undefeated continue to fall.
Yeah.
All right, last game of the day. Vanderbilt going into Death Valley to take on LSU. 7:30 SEC action. Hey, Vanderbilt's been riding the hot wave a little bit. Their only loss in the last month occurred against Texas, and they've looked better than LSU recently. LSU has been kind of just getting stomped left, right, and center. I mean, they get embarrassed by Alabama at home, and now they get shredded apart by the Gators. An unranked Gators team? Nah, not convinced. Tigers continue to fall. Vanderbilt wins this 28-21. They are not ranked.
Yeah. Wow.
Not ranked. I don't think Vanderbilt is anymore either,
No,
which is
Vanderbilt's
very
not.
unfortunate. Hey, how about this for Vanderbilt? Another win. This could get you ranked again. Something to play for.
I think I have Vanderbilt winning this over LSU.
Okay,
I mean-
me and Mike going Vanderbilt.
LSU, I think LSU is a better team. They have a better roster and everything. But after LSU lost to, wasn't Georgia? It was, who would they lose to?
Bama. LSU, Bama.
Yeah, Bama. When they lost to Bama, that was their third loss. That kind of got them out the playoffs. They don't have really anything to play for anymore. LSU's goal was to make the playoffs, and they missed it. Vanderbilt's goal was never to make the playoffs. Vanderbilt's goal was to maybe make the top 5 rank. They can do that with a win here, and I think they can finish it in the top 25.
Hi, Campus Gridiron.
Sam.
Yeah. I'm going to revert back to Florida LSU. Not only did the Gators break the curse, we knocked LSU out of the SEC championship game, and we knocked them out of the national championship possibility in the playoffs. That made this game so much better. LSU stands for Loser State University. Anchor down. Commodores win this one. Brian Kelly has lost that locker room. Brian Kelly has lost. I've been to say Napier hasn't lost the locker room. Brian Kelly lost the locker room.
Oh, yeah.
Bad. I could tell. He was yelling at his players on the sideline. I love seeing Brian Kelly so upset. I know Notre Dame fans feel the same way. So, and I know a lot of LSU fans who want Brian Kelly's head. So it's going to be an interesting all season.
I think LSU. I think Brian Kelly, honestly, he's given up on this team, but I don't think he's really planning for games anymore that much. I think he's using the entire week to recruit. He's going in, looking at draft portal, going in, looking at players coming out of high school. He's trying to recruit new players for next year. He's not focusing on this year anymore. He's focused on next year.
Yeah, which is good, but again, you have to produce on the field, or all those people you recruit are going to start leaving. Hence is why Florida flipped 2 players from Florida State to UF, because Florida State's 1-9, and the Gators are 5-5. But we're a good 5-5 team. We have quality losses, except for 2. Miami.
I don't know if I called it Texas or Texas A&M ones qualifying, but.
Or 3 quality losses, I guess. A&M.
What was the third
Miami,
one?
A&M.
Oh, yeah. Miami was pretty bad. That was a pretty bad one.
Again, you almost beat the top 7 Tennessee team, and you almost beat the top 3 Georgia team. And you took them both of those. You took Tennessee to overtime. You took Georgia to the fourth quarter. That's huge for recruiting. LSU hasn't done that. Anchor down.
Put him on the chin.
Vandy wins. I thought I was the only one picking Vandy. I'm kind of glad I wasn't.
No. It's all good. The rest of our teams, of course, are in action this week as well. We already talked about Gators, Ole Miss. Miami taking the field for the first time since their loss against Georgia Tech. They'll be on the road against Wake Forest. Or will they be at home? Yeah, they'll be on the road. And then Boston College will be in their last 2 games of the season will be at home. 2 really tough opponents, North Carolina and Pittsburgh, left on the schedule.
Miami's coming. Their Wake's going to Miami.
Wake's going to Miami, and North Carolina going to Chestnut Hill to play Boston College. Final predictions for our teams. I'm going to say this right now. You are not beating Pitt divisional week. So for Boston College, and I know you have the whole Castellanos entering the transfer portal, coaching staff and Bill O'Brien put their faith in Grayson James, must win against North Carolina because you're not beating Pitt. You're not. So you got to focus against a banged-up North Carolina team. I'm going to say Boston College wins 28-24. Would not be shocked if the Tar Heels pulled away, though. But I'll go Boston College. I got to keep my faith.
I want to pick Boston College here, but it's just the games I've seen them play. Besides, like a couple of them, they just blow the lead. The Louisville game, they were up by 21.
Yeah, no, but Boston College's only competent game the last month and a half has been the Syracuse win. Other than that, they've looked awful.
You had Castellanos wasn't transferring yet. You had confidence, and you still blew a 21-point lead. I got to go North Carolina here. I just don't trust Boston College.
I know who Lennon's picking. He's picking his boys up north.
Once a Tar Heel, always a Tar Heel.
Whatever. On to Miami, West Wake Forest. West Virginia, Jesus. Wake Forest.
I think Miami's going to kill them.
Yeah, they're pissed.
Wake Forest has not been doing good. And like I said, even with the BYU thing, if you play angry, Wake Forest can take advantage. But even if they take advantage, I don't think Miami's going to win. And even I think Miami has this thing where they're going to play angry, but with precision. Because, if you see Ken Warren played, most of us probably have, he plays like he has something better to do. He plays very nonchalantly.
He's the most nonchalant quarterback I've ever seen.
But the thing is, he makes it look so easy that way. He's making throws that no one can make look easy because he's just doing it.
Yeah.
And when you play angry with precision, you just destroy the other team. I think they're going to do that way against Wake Forest because what Georgia Tech did to us, we realized we're not invincible. We should start trying more a little bit, especially that defense.
No, I am from the wonderful state of North Carolina, and Wake Forest is in the wonderful state of North Carolina. But I've lived in Florida pretty much all my life, and I've seen a lot of hurricanes. So, Miami's going to win this one. Cool. I think this is another one of those games where Miami struggles early, and then Cam Ward and Miami put their stuff together in the second half. And he doesn't fumble the football this time. And Miami actually comes back and holds on and wins the game.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap this one up. Season 2, episode 14 of Campus Gridiron. Thank you guys so much for letting us ramble on about a lot of interesting games this week. Again, Indiana, Ohio State at 12 o'clock. That's probably the big one. And then really the games just kind of get worse throughout the day. But BYU, Arizona State's got potential. So does Vandy LSU.
There's a game I do want to cover that I don't think you put on this. Bama, Oklahoma.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Me and Lennon kind of talked about that. We think Alabama is going to win by a million, so I didn't even bother talking about it.
I think Bama is going to win, but Oklahoma can put up a fight.
I don't think so at all. Oklahoma has been lost. Ever since they lost to Texas, they've been garbage. No thanks.
Overrated university.
Next to Loser State University. I like that. I'm going to steal that. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. You did hit that like button. We will see you guys next week for Rivalry Week. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully we'll go more in depth on some other key rivalries next week. Will Oregon be the only team undefeated? That is the question we will have to wait for.
I think so. Undefeated continue to fall.
Thank you for watching, and we will see you guys next week.